Hello and welcome to the Real Measures of Success. So on behalf of HelpBnk, just a thank you, first of all, for giving me the opportunity to come and share all around the way I see success and why we need to change some of the narrative we have around it, not only in business, but in life as well. So I'm going to bring those two ideas together quite a lot. And I want you to simply take what I share with you today and think, what does this mean to me? How can this really help me move further towards my goals and what I want to achieve in my life? So we're going to start off by talking around kind of you, because it starts with you. And one of the quotes I absolutely love here is by Walt Disney, and it is, whatever you do, do it well. Do it so well that when people see you do it, they will come back and see you do it again. And I want to bring others and show you how well you do what you do. Please make sure you share any questions throughout today. I'll do all the questions at the end. I really want to challenge you and get you to think differently today about things. So if it's not kind of fitting together, or you're thinking, I'm not sure where I'm at with this, that's okay. Just let that be and allow that, because we don't have to have the answers right now. We don't have to have the questions right now. The power of what I share with you and my background, which we'll talk about in a moment, of coaching, is that the impact's profound and it's beyond that moment in time. So really take the reflections, do the groundwork and challenge yourself to things, because that's when you'll really grow. And when we can be in spaces where we feel uncomfortable, that's when we also grow. So feel free to share any questions that you have and I'll make sure I answer those. And likewise, feel free to always connect with me at the end and after if you'd like to too. But this quote came to me when I was in the corporate world, and I saw somebody share it when she was leading her team. And it really inspired me to think about the ripple effect and how I really make a difference in the world to just one person every single day. And that can be profoundly making a bigger impact in this world, doing our own little thing. And everything I do in life and business starts with my why. So I'm often sharing with my clients and people all around, why do we do what we do? For me, Mel Robbins is amazing, but she's an amazing salesperson. She talks around getting out of bed every morning and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That doesn't get me out of bed every morning. I really want you to challenge yourself to think about, what is it that drives you? And we're going to come to talk around purpose later on today. But it's this for me, and it's this for most of us, is the relationships we have, being able to focus on our health, having peace of mind. These are all areas that we really need to define what they mean to us when it comes to creating and building success in our lives and our business. So a bit about me, really quickly, whistle stop tour. I'm very pacey, I'm very direct. I go off on a tangent, but I'm going to try and keep to the structure of the slides because I think that's useful and we get through lots of information. So again, I'm going to compound you with loads today, probably. Take it away, bring it to life and make it work for you, and connect afterwards as you want to. But I'm a business strategist. I help clients grow and scale a business, make more money, get more clients, and build success on their terms. It's kind of my big movement this year, is to create that idea of really what we're talking around with success. I did 19 years in the corporate world. I started at 16 years old at a top FTSE retailer. Absolutely loved it, did very well at it, was a little bit cocky. I qualified as a performance coach in 2016. This came across my world in terms of, I wanted to see what else was out there in the world. I didn't want to potentially feel stuck at the age of 45 and only working for one company. I did stay at one company for 19 years. But I decided once I qualified that I needed to do a big thing and leave and start my own business. I had that niggling feeling deep inside. So I brought together all my experience, knowledge and passion for strategy. I love strategy and operational roles in retail. I led teams. I delivered, multi-million pound budgets and targets. So I know that I'm very good, and I think it's important to talk about what we're very good at and our strengths at operational and leadership strategic work. So I built my online business and I was able to match my corporate salary within 7 months, which gave me the ability to change the way I moved business last year and also be able to help more people. The difference for me is that I love business. I've created the life I want for myself, and I really want to help others do the same as well. And some of the areas that I'm really focused on is this idea of giving and not expecting anything in return, and also that experience that we leave people with on, like I said, like touching somebody every day in a way that feels profound, so that you make a difference and you make them feel valued. It's so important. But there's been highs. The highs are I had a drama degree. It gave me the ability to be very confident in my skill set. And success for me was pretty linear through the corporate world. I joined a coaching academy. I won CPD Coach of the Year in 2019 for my commitment to personal development. I had my own fitness challenge. So I always like to kind of push myself out there and challenge my limitations, this idea of discipline. So I went on my own fitness journey to really challenge how I feel better about myself as well. And there's been the lows. So I was signed off with depression after I failed a sign off with directors. And that was kind of my catalyst moment to see that I needed to change my life. That actually, if I was really being honest with myself and truthful, I wasn't happy in the job I was in. I had the money, I had the success, I had no time to spend the money because I worked all the hours under the sun. I had no relationships in my life. I couldn't hold down a relationship with a guy. I have an amazing relationship now with somebody, and I had a really bad eating disorder. So those things, as I look happy there with my niece, who's one of my favorite people in the world. It was challenging as well. And all of us will have those highs and those lows. And I knew there was a period of time when I would just have to work through that. But first things first, let's take this to you. What do you really want? Often we ask that question, and it sounds a really simple question to some, and for some, it will sound really loaded. Many of us, and there's a great book by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Most people don't know what they want in life. And we really miss opportunities to really grow and develop incredible businesses and help more people. So 2024 is going to be either an amazing year for people, or it's going to be really challenging. It's either filled with opportunities or it's filled with obstacles and lots of shiny objects that distract people. So I really want you to tap in and think about, like, what do you want to achieve? Why are you here? Why are you listening to this? Give me your time, because time is our greatest asset. Okay, it's currency. So this starts with you and having awareness and challenging yourself to these questions. And if you've done this work, dig deeper on them. If you haven't done this work, it may seem hard at the start, but lean into that, like lean into where things are uncomfortable, they're challenging, because this will really help you change the game. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day, where failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. So we're going to talk about failure today as well. But what is success? Let's start with that. Let's start with positive, and let's start with a good thing. Success is really banded around in society, but like often we don't redefine what that means. I often think our education system doesn't actually set us up to live incredible, great lives and run incredible businesses. It doesn't teach us about the stuff that we really need to know, like how to manage our emotions, how to run a business, how to manage our mindsets. So how do you measure success in life? Is it all about wealth? Is it power? Is it status? Think about these questions, because success is beyond just accomplishing your goals. It's about finding happiness and fulfillment in your work, the personal relationships you have, the ability to wake up every day and love what you do, the ability to have freedom right now in this moment. And one of the reasons I left the corporate world was because I didn't want to feel conformed to meet others' expectations of what success meant to them and what I should be doing. I wanted to create a life where I had freedom right now, the ability to go and pick my niece up from school if I need to, the ability to go and train at the gym. I train 5 times a week, so it's important to me. And I know that if my health and my mindset's in a good place, then my business will be in a great place too. There's a direct correlation there. So success isn't just about this. It's about continually growing, using your skills and expertise, and really making a positive difference in this world. Remember, it's a journey and it's not the destination. So fall in love with the process. How do we measure it? Measuring success is like tracking progress. One of the things I'll do and often share on my socials is I post every day. I'm in the gym, I'll post like my little workout book and say like what I'm working on, because it's the progress that's important to me. It's the step by step, day by day that gets me the end result. Often people just focus on a result and then they're either very disappointed when they haven't got there, when actually we need to love every single day and what we have within us and around us and make a difference. So really track success. This is why we need to really define it and then look at like, well, how do we track this? What does that look like for us? Because it allows us to cheer on progress, which is really important. Celebrate achievements. That's why we started with the good. That's why we start with a positive. Empower people. it says that it states that it takes 3 positives to outweigh 1 negative. Yet most of us have around 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of those are negative. So you can see the work that we have to do, and it starts with our awareness on these things. But this comes with internal and external factors. And I thought about, well, how do I present this today? And I could get really boring and business-like and go about qualitative and quantitative measures and all that. And I started to think, well, it's not really about that. I'm talking about how we show up and what success is to us. And that goes beyond the financial achievements. It goes beyond business as well. So we're going to talk around real measures of success, internal and external factors. The internal ones that are within your control, contribute to your well-being and your happiness. And there's an amazing book by Bronnie Ware who talks about the regrets when you're dying. And the number one regret for people is that they did not live a life of true meaning to themselves. So really think about, like, what is success for you? What is purpose? And external factors are things like wealth, status, and power. And there's nothing wrong with those. There's nothing wrong with saying, I want more money. I like money. I love money. Having more money allows me to help more people. But we need to be seeing it in the right way and using it in the right way. So the first step around kind of an internal measure of success is looking at your personal fulfillment and happiness. The Pursuit of Happiness as such. Amazing film, but having positive relationships in your life and a sense of purpose, being and creating meaningful connections with friends, family, colleagues, and nurturing those relationships over time is so important. Don't come from an aspect with business or life is like, what do I get from it? I see people share things a lot, and I sit there and think, you've made that all about you. And that's where I said at the start, I want you to take this and make this about you. Because when we help people and we do it from a place where we give and we don't expect anything back, that's when we really build meaningful connections and relationships and change lives. That's when we build trust. And if you want to talk in business terms, people buy when they trust. So that has to be the focus, not the other way around. Yet most people default to that way. So purpose is looking at what you love and enjoy, finding things beyond your work. Hence the reason why I felt I needed to go and explore health and fitness, because I'd never really ever done that until the age of 26. I'd never walked into a gym even. And I wanted something more. I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to be able to know that if change was going to come, that started with me. And that started with me liking and loving myself and having a good relationship with myself. And this then allows us to be able to wake up in a day and tackle the challenges ahead when we are in a great mindset and space. So set goals for business, of course, but most importantly, set goals around friends and family, being communities, a sense of support and belonging. These are sometimes more intangible goals and measures of success, but there are ways of doing that. There are ways of questioning with yourself, am I living every single day in a way that I want to? Am I getting to the end of the year and achieving my goals beyond financial, beyond business terms? Do I feel good most days? It's asking these questions of ourselves. And one of the key ways to do this is surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I was asked yesterday, if there's one thing you would have done differently when you left the corporate world, or that's really helped you, what would it be? And I said, hands down, is surrounding myself with like-minded people, being in this space, being invested with mentors that will help you, that will challenge you, that believe in you. This is what will change the game for you. So start with why. What gets you out of bed every morning? Define clear goals. It's okay if you haven't done what everybody else has done, and most people haven't done it anyway, but in January and define your goals. Start today. Think about this. Align your behaviors to a big vision, like something that's out there that scares you to want to achieve. Like, get this down. It's a feeling that's contributing to something larger in yourself. That's what feels good. And we want to feel good. It's okay to feel that. Having a sense of purpose then provides us with the motivation, direction, and we stay focused on what we want and our goals. So continuous learning and growth, this is another measure of success, is that success is a journey. It's not the end destination. Actually, lots of people get there and they're very unhappy. So it's important to set goals because you want to have in essence, a roadmap, but we want to make sure that we don't fear judgment, success, and failure. We want to make sure that we're aware of what our dominant fears are. My dominant fear, for an example, is success. As I said, I worked in the corporate world. I got to a place where to others, I looked successful and happy, but I wasn't. I didn't have other things in my life. I just had work, the gym, and home. I didn't have a relationship. I didn't get to see my friends as much as I wanted. I didn't have my health in a place where I wanted. So really tap into these, because most people don't embrace failure. But when you're afraid to fail, you're actually more afraid of what people will think if you fail. But imagine what they think if you don't even try. So trying for something is better than not at all. I would rather have tried running my own business and for it not to work out how I wanted to, and just keep going than stay in a job that I don't like and have a life that doesn't bring me happiness and fulfillment, that internal feeling. So focus on self-awareness and self-improvement. Mental and physical health. So most of us will have heard the idea of putting on your own oxygen mask first, being able to make sure you prioritize yourself. It's not selfish to do that. It's something you need to prioritize. Managing your emotional state is key for decision making. Making decisions when you're at a high state of anxiety, stress, overwhelm, one, it's not healthy, and two, it won't help you to make the right decisions in your business. And this is all around making the right decisions for what we want in life. So get that balanced work-life balance, and know that you have, as I said earlier, like the freedom right now. We just need to sometimes tap into that. What could that be? Some of the most simplest things can be the most profound for us. So I know one of my things I like to do is just go for a walk. Really simple. I love a walk on my own with a podcast or some music, just some downtime, connecting with nature. There's so much science behind that. So again, like study what people do who are successful in your terms of what you define success to be. What do they do? Who are you right now, and who do you need to become to share those attributes that they have? Focus on your health. So having a great healthy diet, exercising regularly. We know that since COVID, we don't need to be working all hours under the sun. People don't want to work for businesses where their values aren't aligned, or that they feel they've got to be in the office at 9 o'clock and still be there at 6 o'clock at night. Like, they want a bit of balance. They want the ability to focus on themselves, to have fun, enjoy their life, enjoy their work. They want to set boundaries, and it's important that we all set boundaries and prioritize our time. Financial stability and wealth. When you think of this is more an external measure of success than an internal. But people who have a lot of money, a large car, the fancy cars, a large house, all those types of things, they can generally often be seen as successful. They've often worked hard to achieve their goals, and I don't think there's anything wrong in saying that. We work hard for things. Like, I love working hard, and that's always been a bit of my belief system. But I enjoy it as well. I feel good when I'm working. So I don't have to conform to somebody who tells me you don't have to work hard. However, I do think that being able to see the transition from corporate to running my own business, I've seen that we can also change the way working hard is. And yes, smart, all those terms. We just need to work out what it is for us. And sometimes when I'm at my best also, working hard is doing something very different. It is things like this. It's working hard in my fitness. It's working hard to spin the plates and have that balance. It's not just working hard on the business. So again, let go of what other people say around success or what you should be doing. And I really want you to think about, what does this mean to you? Because often when we're on a journey or we're starting out somewhere, we're not sure what it means to us. We can get sidetracked thinking, well, I have to do what he said, or that sounds good. And we become sponge-like with people, which is great. But again, that's where you want to make sure you surround yourself with the right people, but still challenge yourself and take well, what does that mean to me? How do I want to be? So what does wealth really mean to you? Educate yourself on money, your relationship with it, and investing in the right things, you and people. And just also know an important one here is that no one's there yet. No one ever gets there. We all have fears. We all worry about things. So, one thing I'm working on my business right now is my money mindset. I've worked on it. It's improved, but I'm miles off of where I want to be. I'll probably never get there. but I actually just love the process. And now I've said to people, I'm not great at it and I still want to work on it. Who wants to come on it with me? So take people with you. That's where that can become more fun. And I love the fact that I'm doing it with people because I learn so much from everybody. Professional accomplishments. So what are your career milestones? What do you want to achieve as well? Making a positive impact in your industry. Like, give without expectation of anything in return. One of the quotes I love from Tony Robbins is, the secret to living is giving. I know Simon talks about it quite a lot, and people in my life who I surround myself with have similar values. They have similar beliefs. That's important to me. It's not about having a cliquey little group where we all agree the same things and everybody's like us. There's people that challenge me in that too. But fundamentally, we have a positive outlook on life. We have beliefs that are important, where we want to give more than we take, that we want to really help people and mean that to be true. And we live and breathe that every single day. And we stand for things, make a movement in things. We have to break through the noise with things, and we have to be controversial on a few things, but make sure they're your beliefs, they're your values. And that's when you'll get people that will come aligned to that and feel inspired and support you on that too. And the more people that you can work with on that, the bigger the effect. There's a great story of like the ripple effect, like the starfish, that you just work on impacting one person every day, and then they can do it to somebody else, and that massive ripple effect is profound. So make a positive impact in your industry. Know what making a difference is, and feeling a sense of purpose and meaning. So how do your actions in business create and deliver value for others? This is like an impact and contribution. So I always volunteer. Every single month, I'll challenge myself to give back in a different way for a charity. And I'm always doing something, either business or personally, where I volunteer. 2018, I worked for a company, a charity, Shout, who are the Samaritans. And I trained to be a volunteer that help people at their most, when they're in a moment when they're thinking of taking their lives. And it was an amazing experience. The reason I actually did it was because I needed to understand how to be more empathetic as a leader. And I wanted to do that through helping others. And often when people are in a dark place, the idea is like, go and help somebody. Keep it really simple. And I was, as much as you think you need a place to volunteer and help, I was also going through my own journey of not wanting to take my life. I was fortunate I didn't have those thoughts, but I was in a place where I wanted to give back and I wanted to help, and I wanted to do that in a different way. So volunteer, it's a great way to give. I now also help students who are going through their coaching journey. I do that as my own time, but it's an incredible place to be, people who are focused, who are ambitious, who really want to change their lives, to just give back and help. So by working towards a greater good, you can feel a sense of achievement and purpose and the meaning in life. So what ripple effect do you want to create? That's what I want to ask you. Like, what do you want to leave this conversation with today and make a difference on? Our values are really important. Nobody talks about their values enough. Like, we should be shouting it every single day. This is what's important to me. This is what matters, because it really gives you a better understanding of and a focus for longer term. So it takes time sometimes to think of these. And I'm going to share here that these are mine. So I talk about them in my business. I talk about my clients. I encourage my clients to do them as well. And I encourage you to do it. Like, think about what is important to you. Who are you and who do you want to become? Because this is what will really help us get clarity in our lives. Lots of people can be feeling very overwhelmed, they're very stressed, and that state doesn't allow us to have clarity. So lots of the time we need to really slow down. And this is a great way to do that. This is a technique, a strategy you can use to really think about, like, what's important to you. The people that you're around, the people that you're with. Often it's very easy to be in worlds where, and I'm fortunate to be in one now, but I've created it where I'm around great people. But I wasn't in that space years ago in 2015. I didn't have those people who understood or saw the world the way I see it. They were challenging me on things, but often it was linked more around their beliefs and their fears and yes, they wanted to do good for me, but it was more around that. So their level of challenge and what I was doing, I needed to disconnect from that. So this is about you connecting with yourself. This is about you thinking and challenging things and reframing things. Because when we have high state awareness, we can then only bring change because we decide what we need, what we want. So that decision-making process is what gives us the ability to know what we need to take action on. So your daily activities and behaviors should always be in line with the person you want to be, like you are and you want to be. Those two things are really important. So what are your values? What do you stand for? And one of my things is like bringing energy and fun. So sometimes my energy is too much for people. That's okay. I don't have to be for everybody. You won't be for everybody. But I want to have fun in business. I worked for corporate and it was boring at the end. It was hard. And I said, I don't want that for another 40 odd years of work or whatever I'm doing, or 50 years of my life. I want something more than that. I want to enjoy my days. Fearless and truthful, and I stick by that. And the reason I share these is because people hold me account to it, which is really important. People will challenge me on, are you being fearless? I'm like, probably not. So these are good to share. And we're not perfect on anything. We can have these ideas, but genuine connection there. I want to genuinely connect with people who want to really change their lives, who want to make a difference, who are ready to do that. I'll often say, and it doesn't work for me how I want to run my business, that when people don't know what they want, it's very hard to work with people that are in that space. But I will give them ideas and tools and things to do, as I've shared with you earlier, to get them to that place, to really think about that and then come back to me. So I'm always looking to, well, how can I help people? But we've really got to know what we want and bring change to that and decide. So I'm very driven on like insights into action. I really want you to think about like, who am I and who do I want to become? Like pen and paper, there's science behind it that when we write things down, we see it differently. It has a different impact and effect on us. So spend the time, do this work. What do you need to do, be, and have to be the person you want to become? And are you taking daily action that moves you closer or further away from those? Are you aligned to those, and are you really having integrity in what you do? Or are you self-sabotaging that? What are the things you're doing? Kind of gone through there, the internal and the external measures of success. You'll have your own. These are mine. And these are what I'm sharing with you as when I've worked with clients and people and what I've seen in my experience. But I want you, again, like find your own and build your own on these as well. Connect with the ones that work for you and challenge the ones that don't and feel, well, what would that mean to me? But a note on failure is that like tension is a tool for growth, but embrace it and be comfortable with it, because excitement and those feelings, they can often feel the same. And that's okay. It's like showing up for any, like this, a masterclass I'll do, or any webinar I'll do, or anything I do where I'm speaking. I'll feel a little bit of sense of nerves, but that's good. I want that level of excitement as well, because I know it's where I'll be at my best. I don't want to come across as cocky and like I know everything. Like I want to challenge people on things, and I want them to come to me with challenge too. I want it to be a conversation where it's both ways. It's not just me sharing and you getting on with it. So exactly, like, because I'm here, like if you've got any questions that you want to share, start sharing them now and we'll come to them at the Q&A. But also it's okay if you don't have them right now to go away and come back to these, of course. But challenge yourself to embrace these feelings, and it's safe to think and expand on that. So fear drives our world. Everywhere around us, people are fearing so much, and it holds them back from really achieving greatness. But growth follows pain. When we're in that pain point, and like I said, at the point where I was even in the corporate world, I knew there was going to be a period of time where it's going to be tough. And I had to embrace that and understand that if I really want something and I really want to change my life, that's going to be hard at first, but I know it's going to be worth it. And I believe in myself, and I believe in what I can do and how I can help others. And that's what I need to keep as my grounding and my focus. So by failing, you will discover new opportunities and possibilities. Often those are our biggest gifts in life, are times when it's challenging. So just a note on failure there and how you see it. Think long term. I think thinking long term is one of the recipes for sustained success as well. We have to live in a moment, but we also have to have an idea of where we're going. Green is not sexy. We don't want everything great. Getting a result can be easy, but sustaining a result is challenging. And that's what I love about the fitness challenge, is that making sure I go to the gym every single day, making sure I feel at my best every day. Like, it's challenging, it's hard. So know that that's okay as well, but challenge your beliefs. Think about these. And when you think that you can't achieve something, or you're not where you want to be, there is something. There is not one of us that kind of gets to our 30s or 40s, 50s beyond. Like we've all got experience and knowledge. Yeah, I work with so many people and I'm like, you're not a newbie. This is cool. Like we've got so much that you've done. Let's just get that greatness, bring it to the surface, look at your strengths, and then let's go all in on what you can do, not what you can't do. Because whether you think you can or can't, you're right. And some of that comes to identity. This is a little bit more under the surface, deeper level stuff, but it's useful to position there. And again, if we're ready to take that in, we're ready. And if we're not, that's okay. Whenever we see things again, we see things through a different lens. And I love learning. Some people don't, that's okay. But I think it's important, again, to look at how we see things. So people want to be around people they trust, like build relationships, look at your mindset. This is where real success will come. Have a leadership mindset in showing up every day, standing for things. So an example here, if you want to lose weight, the identity might be become the person who moves more every day, like simple things you can do. A small win is just walk 50 more steps, like do small things every single day to move forward. That compound effect is profound. Want to become a writer, then start by just writing 1,000 words every day or 500 words a day. Just start small and build on it. Want to be a better friend, then make sure you keep in touch with people. Make sure you show up, make sure you think about what does that relationship look like? What do I want, what do I want it to be both ways? How can we both support one another? Really important ways to think about like your identity and who you are. And I always bring this to light of people because I think it's so important. And the most important thing around this is like what do we really need? And again, detaching yourself from things, emotion, business, and thinking about belonging. Like we want to feel that helps us feel safe. We want to feel love. And these ideas are important to really think about at their simplest form. And things like this can get really complicated. We can overthink them. We can make them super confusing for people. But really essentially ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need? And being able to be honest with yourself on that. So with that, I want you to tell the truth. This is really important. We're coming to the end shortly. So if anybody has any questions or anything as well, please feel free to share it. Thank you for the beautiful ideas, Simply Express. Thank you. But I really want you to tell the truth. Take it, you look at your life and figure out where should you tell the truth. Some people hate it when I use the word should and they say we shouldn't use the word should. Works for me. Okay. So tell the truth. Be honest with yourself. Write down the things that you don't talk about in your life. Write down the thoughts that you really have up here. Challenge those because the real magic lies in the work that you're not doing. And I truly believe if lots of people could really do this one thing and tell the truth this year, it would change the way they see the world, their business, and their lives a lot. We're going to end with this short story around one. It's an amazing film, The Karate Kid, but I love this idea that it's like life and things are like Mr. Miyagi, right? And Daniel San. And it's like when he's washing that car and he's doing it over and over again. It's like, this is boring. I don't understand why I'm doing it. And he's like, okay, cool. Gonna get you to do the fence now. And he does the back and forth and it's boring. It's repetitive. It's the same over and over. One, boredom is mastery when we do things that work over and over. And we need to challenge that against the idea of doing things over and over. And it's insane when we don't get the same output. But the whole premise here is that he was teaching him to be the master. He just didn't realize it. And then it was at the end of this scene where he does this. I can't do it very well. You'd have to watch about the film, but he does the action and he's mastering it. The point here is that sometimes this all feels like it's a jumble. It all feels like a mess. It's all like all those puzzle pieces all over the floor. And you're like, where do I even start? Start with the small things and just build. Just put the puzzle pieces together step by step, day by day. This is what it takes year by year. Like we're always growing and developing. But he realized that things just started to fit. The light bulbs went off over a period of time and it all came together. So again, fall in love with the process, trust the process, believe in yourself more and lean into like challenge yourself like this is the movement I want to make. This is the impact I want to have. This is what real success is to me. This is important. So insights into action. like value for me is only value if you take what you learn and you give your time to, and you bring change and you do the work that's around it. So I really do want you to think about what your free takeaways. You would sit there, like really just say like out loud really quickly, like, or write them down, like my free takeaways, what would they be? You don't even have to know why, just get them down. What are you ready to let go of? It's a really powerful question. We attach ourselves to so much, but I really want you to think about, what do you need to let go of? What's not serving you? What relationships are you in right now where they don't bring you any fulfillment, where they stress you out, where they're emotional, where you don't want to be around those people? What are you ready to believe? Like, you have to believe in yourself. Lots of people don't go for things because they don't believe they can get that result. But you've just got to get started. You're going to fail at things, but you're also going to be successful at things. But you're never going to know if you don't give it a go. And hold your vision strong. That why you do what you do, your purpose, your vision, that's really key for you to always center. That's what you're grounding. That's what gets you out of bed every single morning. So important. So a huge thank you from me. I've absolutely loved sharing this. I hope that it's been of value to people. I hope it's challenged you, it's made you think differently. And I always say that if there's, of course, any questions, please share them with me. But if there's one thing that you take away, then that's in itself is important, and that's the impact I want to have, is just one thing that people take away. It doesn't always have to be loads for people. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. But it's a lot of this, I know sometimes is deeper work, and we need to give the time to that. I mean, that's okay as well. Like, go away and think on these things. It's not about overwhelming you. It's about thinking about the simplicity of simple things for you that you can actually take effect right now and bring the change step by step. And also, we all know that within the world of social media that we'll see people, we'll watch people, and then we'll connect, and that's okay as well. Like, we want to be around people where we trust things as well. So thank you for your comments. Really appreciate that. If you want to connect with me, I'm always on the socials. I'm not going to do a whole sales spiel thing because it's not me. I just want to help people. And of course, we can all have that ripple effect where we can share something that we do every day that we know someone needs to hear about. And we can all do that, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book we've read, or something we've seen, or a cheesy quote. Like, do that part, because that could make the difference in someone's life. Picking up the phone and saying, I just thought of you this morning, and I just thought, I haven't spoken to you in about 3 months. It's really bad. So just checking to see how you are. Like, we take all these things for granted. So it's about that prompt to go and do those things. And I always think, actually, it's okay to have goals like, I want to spend 30 minutes with my partner this evening. Like, I have a goal like that because my life's busy. It's crazy busy. And that's important to me. And if it works for me to get that down as a goal, it works for me. And that's important. So do more of what works for you, get your real measures of success, and tell the truth. There we go. Have an amazing day, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you to the team at HelpBnk as well.